The following message contains a special offer for listeners of this station. Are you a man over 40? Are you constantly looking for the nearest bathroom? Do you wake up multiple times a night to use the bathroom? Right now, Perfect Prostate is sending out free bottles of their groundbreaking new formula to listeners of this station. Perfect Prostate Formula was developed by medical doctor Mitchell Fleischer, and its ingredients have been clinically studied to reduce your frequent nighttime bathroom visits and promote healthy urine flow. Right now, preferred customers get their first bottle of Perfect Prostate absolutely free. There's nothing to lose. Perfect Prostate is guaranteed to reduce that constant urge to use the bathroom, especially at night, and promote healthy urine flow. Don't wait. Call now for your free bottle. Just pay shipping and processing. Dial 1-800-675-0251. That's 1-800-675-0251. Supplies are limited. One free bottle per household. Call now. Dial 1-800-675-0251. That's 1-800-675-0251.
Tired of paying outrageous prices for Viagra? Well, we have great news for you. Now you can finally get Viagra at huge discounts. Healthy Man allows you to save up to $500 on Viagra. Why pay U.S. pharmacy prices of $15 per pill or more when you can get Viagra for less than $3 a pill? Call today and get 40 Viagra pills for only $99. This can cost as much as $600 at your local pharmacy. You can't afford not to call us. If you want Viagra at the lowest prices, never pay $15 a pill pharmacy prices again. Get Viagra for less than $3 a pill. Call 1-800-516-7602 today and save up to $500 and get 40 pills for just $99. Healthy Man is fast, easy, and affordable. Operators are waiting at 1-800-516-7602 to take your call right now. Call 1-800-516-7602. That's 1-800-516-7602. Again, 1-800-516-7602.
Every day, the men and women of the United States Marine Corps stand ready to defend the American way of life. The few, the proud, the Marines.
Hey folks, I want to introduce you to a friend of mine, Dr. Richard Harden. We are on the same mission, which is waking up America. We just have different paths. So stay tuned for some information on how you can keep up with Richard and all his work.
Visit Richard's website at raharden.com. That's the World Wide Web at RAHARDIN.com. At his website, you can see a summary of the 6 books he has written, where purchases may be made. He also has a link to 18 videos on YouTube and several blogs about Christian beliefs. If you prefer, visit Amazon.com/Kindle and type in Richard Harden to see and purchase his books.
This is Rio of Madison Rising, and you're listening to KLRN Radio, where liberty and reason still reign.
The mainstream media is really the make-believe media. First, they make up the news, and then they make you believe it.
Hi, this is Susan Swift.
I'm highly successful, have been all my life. I have enjoyed successful careers in film, television, and law.
I'm Dan Wright, a father, a gun owner, a dog owner, and a Federalist.
I'm Susan Swift, and you are listening to Constitution and Culture on KLRN Radio,
where liberty and reason still reign.
You are on Constitution and Culture. Thanks so much for tuning in. And yes, I am the C word. I am a conservative. So if you're a liberal, feel very, very triggered today. And we're going to be talking about today, I'll just tee up right here and then I'll let Dan introduce himself too. We're going to be talking about countering deep state, the new Cold War. There is a conservative Cold War and it's countering the 4 horsemen of the Democrat apocalypse. Yes, I am Susan Swift. You can find me at Real Swift. You can also find me at susanswift.net. And I am joined by my ever happy and very kind libertarian Dan Wright, who's got a hot toddy because he's sick. Hi, Dan. How's it going?
Well, you said it. I'm sick. Yes, drinking a hot toddy though, it's very good. And you introduced me as a libertarian. I'm more of
all around nice game.
A liberservative. How's that?
Okay. You know what? I self-identify as a conservative. What do you self-identify as? Say it again. A liberservative? What's that?
I self-identify as a classical liberal. How's that?
Okay. That a classical liberal I can totally understand. If you guys don't know what a classical liberal is, you guys need to study history, because it basically means a conservative. I mean, you know, when we're talking about the left and the right today, the right is more of a classical liberal. That's what we used to be called, because liberty, liberal, that's what used to be. But when they you know, the left
hijacked.
Yes, they hijacked and they brand things, and so now they've branded themselves as democratic and liberty and all of those things. That those are the mantles they like to wrap themselves in as commies that they are. And so a classical libertarian, I should say, or a liberalist, a classical liberal is actually a conservative. So Dan, I'm very, very happy that I self-identify as a classical liberal. I think that's great.
It confuses a lot of people too, and that's what I love.
I know.
And you can find me on Twitter at 7:00 tomorrow morning at Right1Dan, because Twitter found it upon themselves to lock me out of my account again. So.
What did you do this time? What did you do, you bad boy?
You know what I did?
What did you do?
I got nasty with somebody that hacked my Facebook account and decided to start posting all my personal pictures on Twitter.
That's
so Twitter locked.
It's got to be a crime. You got to be able to prosecute these people.
So I got hacked. And I got locked down, and the guy is still on there posting my pictures, and I can't do anything about it. So that's liberal Twitter for you.
The more I hear about Twitter, the less I even want to be on there. That is really
yeah. I know you're not on there much. You haven't even followed me back yet.
Yes, I did. I did follow.
Did you?
Yes.
Okay.
With your original account with the 4 guns, I don't know, it went for.
No, I know you followed that account.
Yes, I did.
I'm 2 accounts later.
Okay, I'm Twitter constipated. What do you want from me? What do you want? Okay, I don't trust Twitter. I don't like it very much. There's this one dude in, I don't know, Canada, who is still like haunting me and trolling me because I posted a meme based on news reports at the time. The news reports, the fake news, the inaccurate news people who, you know, they shoot first and ask questions later, those kind of media people. They put something up about the Canadian shooter who they thought he might be, you know, a Muslim. So I ran with a meme. Turns out he wasn't. And this guy from Canada has still been just like haunting me about it. And I'm like, I took the meme down. I took everything off. I'm basing it on the news media. I guess I'm trusting, you know, reputable news sources. It wasn't like I'd gone to some obscure, you know, USA Myths and World News Report.com.org, you know, some sort of weirdo, you know, you see all those sites on Facebook and you look at it and it looks, you know, CNNnews.com as opposed to CNN.com, you know, something you can't trust a lot of the places that people post on Facebook. So I'm getting my news from what should be reputable sources. I source them and look at them. And then, it turns out that they jumped the gun. Just like, you know, how liberals love to, anytime there is any kind of mass shooting, they're all frothing at the mouth, hoping it's some sort of white nail Tea Party dude. You know, they're always trying to pin it on the Tea Party, white, you know, conservative guy with too many guns in his basement, and it's never worked out for them. Well, this time the media had kind of thought this guy might be Muslim. I ran with a meme, and this little person on Twitter is just like still badgering me over it. It's like, I took the meme down. What do you want?
Right.
What?
Yeah.
What? I didn't write a piece. I didn't report anywhere I didn't report it on Politics. I didn't do anything. This is my little Facebook thing. I didn't make a news report that was inaccurate. I had actual sources. So I made a little meme and I took it down when it was done. So I don't like Twitter. Sorry, I'm unraveling here, but Twitter is not my favorite. I'm Twitter constipated. I'm glad you like Twitter. I hope you enjoy that fight over there as they continue to hack you and probably make you look like, you know, I don't know.
Well, you know, they didn't hack me.
They didn't. A transvestite type person?
They didn't hack me on Twitter. They hacked my Facebook account.
But you just have the most interesting enemies. Oh my gosh.
Well,
wow.
And you know what? It's and my thing with it is I don't care what you post about me. You can post whatever you want. I'm me. But when you start bringing my children into it, that's what
Oh, yeah, I know.
But see, Twitter is fun. Twitter is, for the most part, it's fun. It is.
I'm glad you enjoyed
the trolls.
that.
It's the trolls that are the problem.
Yes,
it's the trolls.
Just like that, like we have liberals that are the problem in America. We all understand we're all doing battle, which comes exactly to the point of what we're talking about today, because there is a new conservative Cold War. We are countering the 4 horsemen of the Democrat apocalypse. That's what I'm calling it. I'm countering deep state. We now have seen what what's just transpired over the last week was that General Flynn, who was nominated by Trump to serve in his cabinet, he has basically been fired, if you will. He's resigned in disgrace, and he shouldn't be disgraced. But the reason why is because of deep state. That's what we're looking at. We have the 4 horsemen of the liberal apocalypse, and they are going after Trump. They are the media, the establishment rhinos, and the elected Democrats, and the unelected bureaucratic operatives that are embedded within the deep state. Okay, this is the machine, if you will, the state machine. And as a libertarian, Dan, I'm sure you're well familiar with all of this. It's very interesting that this is back on February 6th. On the floor of the Senate, Senator Marco Rubio from Florida identified one of the major weapons in this conservative Cold War, the Cold War on conservatives. And that major weapon is hate. We have a soundbite from him, which he's talking about the hate and what is happening. Let's hear that soundbite.
And this body cannot function if people are offending one another, and that's why those rules are in place.
There's another soundbite where he explains that we are becoming a society that can't have debates due to hate. In that speech, he also correctly explained what is at stake. And what is at stake, we have a soundbite of that, and let's go ahead and play that, explaining what is at stake in our democracy. I think we're having technical difficulties. What he said was that what is at stake is the very ability to debate. Now, he further
we are becoming a society incapable of having debates anymore. In this country, if you watch the big policy debates that are going on in America, no one ever stops to say, I think you're wrong, I understand your point of view, I get it, you have some valid points, but let me tell you why I think my view is better. I don't hear that anymore. Here's what I hear almost automatically, and let me be fair, from both sides of these debates. Immediately, as soon as you offer an idea, the other side jumps and says, the reason why you say that is because you don't care about poor people, because you only care about rich people, because you're this or you're that or you're the other. And I'm just telling you guys, we are reaching a point in this republic where we're not going to be able to solve the simplest of issues, because everyone is putting themselves in a corner where everyone hates everybody.
Well, can I tell you something, Susan?
Sure, Dan.
I went to two Marco Rubio rallies. I didn't really call them rallies. They were very. The way he handled his rallies was very intimate. I mean, a lot of people, but it was always like round table, or like theater in the round. And I met him. I shook his hand. I've supported him. He's correct. He is 100% correct. But I am also finding that down on our level, debate is starting to come back. And I think this whole dichotomy that's going on right now is actually down on the level we're on, with people that aren't extreme to either side. Debate is coming back.
Well, of course, that's you and me and regular people in the world. That's fine. But
it wasn't.
Let me
it
finish.
hasn't been there. It hasn't been there.
See, there's a reason why it hasn't
level.
been there. There's a reason why it hasn't been. The Senate, our system of government, can't function if people are offending themselves or offending each other, right? Is it any wonder then that the left is constantly agitating, constantly interrupting, arguing, throwing shade, innuendos, racism, homophobia, sexism, oppression, bigotry, you name it, the fake news of the day, whatever spin is necessary to appeal to emotions, they ignore facts. They ignore logical, cool-headed questions. The media, the left, they have adroitly used threats to silence political debate, to silence us. They invented the notion of politically correct speech. That's by design, to shut us up, to silence opposition to the alt-left agenda of one world domination and political population control. The left hates conservatives. They hate us because of the ideology that we represent. They attack, they vilify, they even lie about conservatives because the ends justify the means, right? Just like Saul Alinsky. The notions of individual liberties proclaimed by our Constitution make the United States that make the United States an exception to the rule of tyranny throughout the history of the world. They hate that. Conservatism is the ideology that says all men are created equal with certain unalienable rights which come from God, not government. That is anathema to the Democrats, to the alt-left, who are hell-bent on centralized power and control. And they will do anything to retain that power and that control. They use hate to motivate others. They stir up hate and unleash it on college campuses through groups like, Occupy Wall Street, Black Lives Matter. They're funded by Soros and friends and shadow groups, all aligned to take down the beacon of individual freedom that is the United States of America. And what we need to hear is a little bit of we need to gird our loins for battle, because we are in the battle of our lives for our country. This is our battle, and we need to remember what we're fighting for. So let's get some battle music here just to remind us what we're fighting. That is the left. They are coming for us. And we have to gird our loins politically, and we have to oppose them. There's no quarter asked, no quarter given. We have to oppose them tooth and nail in the streets, just like when we were fighting the British long, long ago for our own independence. That's what we are fighting now, is a political battle. The new conservative Cold War. The left has Democrats embedded. They're like embedded operatives in the bureaucracy. They are working to deconstruct our representative democracy, our Constitution, from within. And the media is a willing sycophant. They're the handmaiden of the left. And these deep state agents, they're running an inside coup. I read a brilliant piece by Michael Walsh. He was writing at Pajama Media. And he explained that there are deep state agents effecting an inside coup, that these anonymous bureaucrats took down General Flynn. And here's what he wrote, what Michael Walsh wrote. Quote, they all knew their little sacred agreement with Iran was going to go off the books. So they got rid of Flynn before any of the secret agreements even surfaced. With the resignation, this is continuing from Michael Walsh writing at PJ Media, with the resignation of National Security Advisor Michael Flynn, in the face of a howling media mob, the knives are not out, not only for other administration officials, but for President Trump himself. Make no mistake about what's happening here. This is a rolling coup attempt organized by elements of the intelligence community, particularly the CIA and the NSA, abetted by Obama-era holdovers in the understaffed Justice Department. Sally Yates, take a bow. And the lickspittles, I love that, the lickspittles of the leftist media, all of whom have signed on with the resistance in order to overturn the results of the November election. Mike Flynn, a good man who saw the enemy clearly and had the courage to name it, saw Russia not as an enemy, but as a geopolitical adversary with whom we could make common cause against Islam, and who also vowed to shake up a complacent and malfeasant IC. That was his first scalp and an object lesson to CIA Director Mike Pompeo, should have had, if he had had any reformist notions. As for the media, having previously failed to take down Trump aides Steve Bannon and Kellyanne Conway, Flynn was the next best thing, and their joy today is unbounded. That is exactly what's happening right now. He's been targeted. General Flynn was targeted and eliminated by the deep state, who are Democrat operatives, who are civil servants. You probably can't fire them all, but Trump should fire the ones he can through every means that he can legally. An interesting perspective was also given by Glenn Greenwald at The Intercept today. He wrote, "It's very possible, I'd say likely, that the motive here was vindictive rather than noble, but whatever else is true, this is a case where the intelligence community, through strategic and illegal leaks, destroyed one of its primary adversaries in the Trump White House. But no matter. What matters is not the motive of the leaker, but the effects of the leak. Any leak that results in the exposure of high-level wrongdoing, as this one did, should be praised, not scorned and punished." That's according to Glenn Greenwald at The Intercept. That's his opinion. So, and I want to bring one other thing to your attention. You know what? We'll do this on the other side of the break. Why we have been signaled. There's been a signal sent out that all of these leakers have been activated, kind of like sleeper cells, Islamic sleeper cells, if you will. We have sleeper cells in the government, and I'll talk to you about that on the other side of the break.
The following message contains a special offer for listeners of this station. Are you a man over 40? Are you constantly looking for the nearest bathroom? Do you wake up multiple times a night to use the bathroom? Right now, Perfect Prostate is sending out free bottles of their groundbreaking new formula to listeners of this station. Perfect Prostate formula was developed by medical doctor Mitchell Fleischer, and its ingredients have been clinically studied to reduce your frequent nighttime bathroom visits and promote healthy urine flow. Right now, preferred customers get their first bottle of Perfect Prostate absolutely free. There's nothing to lose. Perfect Prostate is guaranteed to reduce that constant urge to use the bathroom, especially at night, and promote healthy urine flow. Don't wait. Call now for your free bottle. Just pay shipping and processing. Dial 1-800-675-0251. That's 1-800-675-0251. Supplies are limited. One free bottle per household. Call now. Dial 1-800-675-0251. That's 1-800-675-0251.
Tired of paying outrageous prices for Viagra? Well, we have great news for you. Now you can finally get Viagra at huge discounts. Healthy Man allows you to save up to $500 on Viagra. Why pay U.S. pharmacy prices of $15 per pill or more when you can get Viagra for less than $3 a pill? Call today and get 40 Viagra pills for only $99. This can cost as much as $600 at your local pharmacy. You can't afford not to call us. If you want Viagra at the lowest prices, never pay $15 a pill pharmacy prices again. Get Viagra for less than $3 a pill. Call 1-800-516-7602 today and save up to $500 and get 40 pills for just $99. Healthy Man is fast, easy, and affordable. Operators are waiting at 1-800-516-7602 to take your call right now. Call 1-800-516-7602. That's 1-800-516-7602. Again, 1-800-516-7602.
Every day, the men and women of the United States Marine Corps stand ready to defend the American way of life. The few, the proud, the Marines.
Hey folks, I want to introduce you to a friend of mine, Dr. Richard Harden. We are on the same mission, which is waking up America. We just have different paths. So stay tuned for some information on how you can keep up with Richard and all his work.
Visit Richard's website at raharden.com. That's the World Wide Web at RAHARDIN.com. At his website, you can see a summary of the 6 books he has written, where purchases may be made. He also has a link to 18 videos on YouTube and several blogs about Christian beliefs. If you prefer, visit Amazon.com/Kindle and type in Richard Hardin to see and purchase his book.
And we're back. This is Susan Swift and Dan Wright for Constitution and Culture. Thanks for listening. We were talking before the break, and I was explaining, I guess, my theory that it's not my theory, it's what people are saying in the media about the deep state. I'm calling it countering the deep state, the new Cold War that's going on within our government. And I was explaining how General Flynn was targeted and eliminated by deep state. And I thought of something that had happened very recently. Recall, if you will, that one of Obama's last acts before leaving office was to pardon Chelsea Manning, nay, Bradley Manning, but, he did the full Monty, and I will respect his decision to have such a radical surgery. So I am going to now refer to as she, Chelsea Manning, the U.S. soldier who was convicted by court-martial in July of 2013 of violations of the Espionage Act and other offenses after disclosing to WikiLeaks nearly 750,000 classified or unclassified but sensitive military and diplomatic documents. Remember him? I believe that signal, that Obama's, pardon of Chelsea Manning, I think that was the activation signal to the sleeper cells within deep state to begin leaking. I think it emboldened the Obama embeds in deep state, the loyalists. I think it signaled to them that they should leak like a rusty trash barge on the Hudson for the greater good of delegitimizing Trump and to deconstruct the U.S. Constitution. And that we're seeing the fallout of that with, General Flynn. Trump and Pence, President Trump and Vice President Pence, should have acted like Obama. I know, clean out your ears. I can't believe I just said that. I know, but I'm not using my mind. President Trump, and you can mark this down. President Trump and Vice President Pence should have acted like Obama. They should have stood by their nominee. If they're going to nominate the guy who was a Democrat, who worked in the Obama administration before they came on, and they wanted to nominate him, they should have stuck by their nominee. They should have thumbed their noses at all comers. And Republicans, the rhinos especially, can learn a thing or two or three from their adversaries, the Democrats, because they should stay behind the leader of their party come hell or high water. But they're not. The rhinos are also, going and like Paul Ryan and everybody, I think it was right to what Trump did was right to get rid of Flynn. Everybody, it is so easy to peel off a couple of rhinos and then start dividing, divide and conquer. That's what the Democrats and the media do. And because Pence buckled and Trump caved, Flynn was thrown under the bureaucratic bus. And now, just a day later, Andy Puzder, he was going to be, the head of Labor Department, and he's a really good pick for it. He read the writing on the wall, and he bowed out of consideration to be Labor Secretary. He would have been a very good choice, but what happens is the embeds got a twofer. Trump buckled, they threw Flynn under the bus, and the Democrats saw blood in the water. They both went after Puzder today. The media got hold of divorce allegations in a messy divorce from Puzder's ex-wife. The conservatives also started reporting about a Nannygate issue that Puzder had, that he'd apparently hired someone without paying back wages or whatever. I didn't even bother reading the whole thing because the point was, the minute they saw the weakness, both sides, Republicans and Democrats, immediately started picking on the next guy in line. So Flynn's out, and they went right after Puzder. And that is how you divide and conquer. The Democrats are overjoyed because they've gotten a twofer. The embeds have gotten a twofer. Puzder was an opponent to the minimum wage, and he would have been a very powerful Secretary of Labor. And through fear and intimidation and basically, political correctness blackmail, they have signaled to Puzder that, don't you go there because we will drag up everything. We're going to get your ex-wife. We'll have her paraded here in front of Congress. We will go after everyone in your family. It is scorched earth. It is a political war. It is a conservative Cold War. That's what we are facing right now.
No, you're right. You are correct. You just said it. It's a conservative Cold War. That is why I am not a Republican.
You don't like fighting? What? I don't get it.
No, the Republican Party is not conservative.
Oh, well, I agree.
And the Libertarian Party isn't either. I don't even fall on that. There needs to be new. There's a
no. What we need to do is we need to kick out all of the rhinos, and we have to co-opt, take over one of the two parties. You can't have a three-way system. We'll always be in the minority. What we have to do is start #winning, and what we have to do is take over, reclaim the Republican Party, because it has fallen away from its constitutional moorings, and it's floating like a ship on the water, just kind of being blown by whichever political waves and wind hit it. And it is the conservative wing of the party that's standing strong, and what we need to do is reclaim it and reinfuse it, and that's by getting rid of the rhinos. I mean, McCain needs to go, and Lindsey Graham, they need to go. They're too fuzzy wuzzy, and McCaskill and up in Maine, and then Susan Collins in Alaska. All those two, they're bought and paid for by the teachers unions. They don't dare make a move. I mean, remember we just had the vote on Betsy DeVos last week, who's the new secretary for education, and those two gals voted against her. That's why it was a 50-50 split, and for the first time in history, we had Vice President Pence breaking the tie, and that's because the unions own these two senators in the Republican Party. Where they're not standing for the individual. They're not standing for individual teachers or the rights of parents to educate their children. Heaven forfend. No, they're owned. They're bought and paid for by the unions. And this is exactly why we have to reclaim our party. And we don't have to go out and reinvent the wheel. It's already there. They've corrupted it. They've lost their spine. We need to give them a good pedionectomy and reinstall, spine 2.0 if we have to into some of these guys and reclaim our party. I'm not, they can't have it. I'm not retreating.
I'll be honest with you. It looks like at this point, well, I'm always honest, but
okay.
At this point, and we are, just over a month into 2017, and yeah, the Federalist Party already has a foothold in 25 states. We're not even close to 2018 yet.
And what's your point? So we're going to have a third party option? Is that what we're going to do? And then
a real third party.
There's no. What will happen is we will lose the very razor slim majority that we have. We have enough right now in the House and the Senate. 53. We will lose that razor thin edge, and instead, all we have to do is, like I said, install Spine 2.0 back into some of these good old boys and good old gals up in the Republican Party who think that they, are Republicans, and re-explain it to them. And then they all have to hang together. If they stay united, we can get everything done. And that's why we are so urgently wanting this done in 2 years, because in 2 years there's going to be midterms. And if the Democrats succeed in the constant, never-ending fake news, demoralizing deconstruction, and attack on delegitimizing Trump's election, which was a valid election. They're still blaming the Russians. That's what this whole thing is about, really. This whole General Flynn. They're just latching on to General Flynn because he had spoken to some Russian, contacts, And that plays into their meme, their narrative that, oh, Russians hacked our election process. They hacked into Podesta's email, and they hacked into the DNC. And you know what? It wasn't fair. The Russians cheated, and if Trump and the Russians hadn't cheated, Hillary would have won. She would have. I mean, that's like.
But that's also where they're wrong.
I know
The Russians didn't hack Podesta's email.
Dan, I know, but most people don't. What this is a media campaign for the hearts and minds of people who are like you and me. We're scrambling from, karate drop-off, pickup, school, get to the grocery store. Oh my gosh, what am I going to have for dinner? Oh, the dog's out of food. The cat has no water. What do I got to do? I'm going to turn on the news for 4.5 minutes and I'm going to get caught up. And once again, it's going to be Russian intelligence have another contact within the Trump administration. And we have someone who is demanding that we open up investigations into the ever-evolving Trump administration. I mean, this is all we hear all day long is Russians, Trump cheated, they stole the election. That's the media narrative.
I know it is.
Sycophants with the embeds in the government, and they're trying to. Most people don't even know about this, and they're just trying to just live their day, and so they get 5 minutes of news, and it's all how the Russians hacked the election, and then these normal, good-hearted Americans are looking, well, Russian communists, they're bad guys, and they don't like our country because they don't. They'd rather just own us, and maybe they did. Because how did they get to those emails, man? Podesta, it wasn't as simple as phishing. It couldn't have been. And they must have done something because Trump, those people in Russia and General Flynn was talking to him, and so this just continues. It's more fake news, it's fake spin, and they're going for the hearts and minds of regular Americans. And we have to counter that because otherwise in 2 years, this is all part of they've already begun the campaign for 2018. Because what they need to do is they need to flip a few seats in the Senate. I think they still have a disadvantage next year. I don't have the numbers in front of me. But they desperately want control of the Senate, and then they will bottle up everything. Then they will change Mitch McConnell to probably Schumer, and Schumer will start just running everything he can to investigate, and to delay everything. We'll be back fighting this battle in the trenches again. What we need to be doing is we need to be supporting Trump in his picks now so that we are united together against the Democrat forces. And yes, we got to get the rhinos out. That's what we need to be doing in 2018 and reclaiming our party, reestablishing, replanting our constitutional flag, our banner, our brand back in the Republican Party, because I don't like what they do either. I'm not happy with their kind of wishy-washy rhino kind of waffling. It bugs me. And and I'm living out here in the People's Republic of California. I don't even have a token. I can go
out.
Oh, I know. I've got Adam Schiff as a representative. Like he's going to talk to me. Adam Schiff.
I mean, this is what I don't disagree with what you're saying. I don't. I've been for 14 years. I've been screaming neocon for 14 years.
Yes, amen.
And here we are. I've been screaming it for 14 years.
I believe the neocons are part of the deep state. There are lots of people that are bended. They all want their cushy jobs. That's why a lot of them are saying, we'll repair Obamacare. We won't replace it. We'll repair it. Yeah, that's what we'll do.
Everything to me now is Mick. Everything is Mick.
What's Mick?
Mick Mullen. Everything is Mick.
I don't know.
You want neocon? It's Evan McMullen. Everything is Mick to me now. And a few other friends of mine. Everything that happens is neocon. Everything's neocon. The whole thing on the right now, everything is neocon. That's the problem.
Yeah, I agree. I'll agree with you there, and that's why we have to continue helping Trump become a good conservative outsider. He's not conservative yet, but he's got some good conservative elements, and we need to support him. He does, because he's on the outside. He's probably looking at this going, what is the big flipping deal here? Why can't we get some stuff done? That's because all of the neocons, as you call them, the rhinos, whatever they are, they're dragging their feet just as badly as the deep state Democrats. they're all doing the same thing. Oh, but you know what? It made me think of one thing that you mentioned when we were talking about Obamacare. Guess what Trump did? In the middle of all of this General Flynn fiasco, I have to do hat tip to President Donald Trump. Very well played, because in the middle of this, he's signed another executive order, which actually undercuts the power of the IRS that was set to require everyone who files taxes to produce a certain form to show that they had individual health care under the mandate required by Obamacare. They were forms. It was on like line 61 of your 1040 form, and it's a special form called Form 8965, I think. And up until Trump signed the executive order, it was mandatory. The IRS would not accept 1040s unless the coverage box was checked or shared responsibility payment noted or the exemption form was included. Otherwise, they would be labeled as silent returns and rejected. And the funny thing is, for them, is now because Obama signed that executive order that said, look, we need to say that we have to provide relief from Obamacare to the extent possible. That change, which he signed in January, has now made that the requirement optional. So the IRS can't require that we have proof of health care insurance. So there, IRS, Lois Lerner and the gang. And that's the power of one executive order. So I love that. Well played, Trump. Well played, I must say.
Now, can I also, I do want to give some props to a neocon.
Props to a neocon.
I actually posted it today on social media, a post from Speaker Ryan that tomorrow they will be voting to shoot down something that Obama snuck in before he got out of office, but basically shooting down something that Obama put in and saying that the United States federal taxpayers are not required to in any way support or pay for abortion. And that Speaker Ryan posted that on his own site today, and I reposted it on social media. And kudos to Speaker Ryan for that. Yay. And we'll see, hopefully, and it should go through. We have the majority that no more federal tax money, no federal tax money will go to support abortions at all.
Domestically, because I know Obama has already...
Domestically.
Amen. I am loving that. That is wonderful. That is good news, because I don't want my money spent for that. Stop killing Americans with my money. I know you guys want to think that it's just a mass of cells. It's just like, a tumor or something. No, it's not. It's a living, breathing human being with separate DNA. It just needs to gestate, okay? And you guys are so sick that you want to kill these little babies in the womb. I can't stand it. At least be tolerant enough of my money that I don't have to spend it. While you still can, you harpies, you vampires, you sycophants who want to shed innocent blood for your unholy sacrifice. You want to go ahead and do that? Do it at least with your own money, not with mine. I don't want pieces of silver. Thank you very much.
That's right. Don't give me the. It's for women's health going to Planned Parenthood. No, it's a shell game.
Pregnancy is not a disease. It's a naturally occurring condition. And in fact, women are exactly designed for it. And it's a blessing and it's a good thing if we choose to be pregnant. It is not a sickness. It is not an illness. It is something that only we can do, and it makes us, frankly, superior to men because you guys can't handle it, okay? And you guys are lucky that we put up with you enough to have babies, all right?
Hey, I told you all we want. I told you all we want last week.
In a hot bed, I know this. I have a husband.
But it's. I was told a few days ago that money goes towards mammograms and wait for it, here it comes. Mammograms and prostate exams. They do not do prostate exams at Planned Parenthood.
Planned Parenthood prostate exams? Yeah, right. Yeah. Well,
it's a shell game. Cecile Richards admitted it herself.
Of course, it's all
sitting there on the floor of Congress that it's a shell game. They get all this federal money, and it's a shell game.
Yeah, like mammograms and all of that. No, they don't. They do like less than. I don't think less than 3%. You can check it at LifeSite News. I'm sure they'll have it. But they hardly do any mammograms or screening. Prostate, I know what their prostate test is. They want to see if men can get girls pregnant. That's what they do. That's the prostate
exactly.
test. And then when the girl walks in the door, they check the box. Oh, there's somebody with a healthy prostate out there too. What's your name, honey? Who is it? Who is he? They don't even bother to report underage girls who have been impregnated by older men. They don't even ask. There was an entire series done that exposed the lie that Planned Parenthood doesn't. They should be reporting underage girls, if they're under 15 or something, because then it's statutory rape. They don't do that. They just counsel her, and they want to get the money to kill the baby inside her because they're paid a lot of money to do that. And then, of course, now we know they sell baby parts too for money.
Federal money goes towards women's health. It doesn't go towards abortions.
Yeah, right. Because the way that they define it is a woman is only healthy if she's not pregnant. If you define
3,000 abortions a week.
No, I know it's sick. But you know what? What I'm getting at is the wordplay. They define women's health as non-pregnancy. Pregnancy is not healthy. It is a disease. It is a sickness. Therefore, the way that they can get around it in their sick little heads is that this goes for women's health. It makes women healthy again to abort a baby. It's like a parasite. It's like a piranha fish inside of her who's just eating her up and sucking at her insides. We have to get rid of it. That's what they think of babies. They think that a pregnant woman is sick and ill. So the way that they define it is this supports women's health, which means abortion is a woman's health option. And that's how they get around it. And it is this sick Democrat word game that they use, just like they've used to redefine marriage so that they can run zillions of dollars through the state of California education, because they've redefined marriage to be not between one man and one woman, but you could be a man and a man, a woman and a woman, a goat and a fish, who knows what it is, because the point is not, it's actually not to protect LGBT rights. That we already have laws for that. That the point was not it to redefine marriage in the state. It was to free up lots of money, run through the education code that defined marriage as one man, one woman. Once you change the definition of what marriage is, it's like changing out a puzzle piece. Now we can now teach alternate forms of sexuality. It's a social experiment. It was never meant to protect anyone. It is meant to indoctrinate and use state money to indoctrinate an entire generation of kids on a social experiment. That's what they do. They take they're very good at word games and remanipulating the definition of words to get the result they want with your money. They can't compete for your money in the real world and say, hi, if you support our cause, please give us money. They have to take it from the government. Although I will say one aside, they have done a fabulous job fundraising against Trump and his agenda. They are making the ACLU, and there are some other organizations that don't have the tip of my fingers. They are making more money than God fundraising against Donald Trump. They're going to be there. They should actually give him the Salesman of the Year award. All of these left-wing sites, because they are raising, by using fear-mongering and hate, they are raising zillions of dollars in the Soros gang and the ACLU, all these left-wing fundraising places. They're fundraising off of the fear of Donald Trump and his agenda. So that's one reason we have to continue.
You just gave me a brainstorm. I will now call. I now call all pro-aborts parasites.
Yeah.
Because if
they're living off.
If that's
the
a if that's a parasite growing in that womb,
it is.
Well, then you were a parasite. So
Mm-hmm.
now you are a parasite, and I am a parasite. We're all parasites.
Yes,
I now call all pro-abortion parasites.
Yes,
Thank you, Susan.
You're very welcome. And you know what? This also is this is exactly what the green movement does, the population control, carbon emissions. They really truly see us as little carbon footprints who are polluting Mother Earth, planet Gaia, and that they really do need to reduce the number of human beings, the little parasites on the Earth. This is true. They believe that. That is part of their population control, one world government, and control all of the people who can have babies. And look what they do in China. They've just recently allowed the Chinese women to have more than one child, especially if they have a girl first. Then they're allowed to maybe try for a son. Talk about a sexist regime. But, that's just...
I have a friend on Twitter, and this is a shout out to him. I have a friend on Twitter, and his handle is a clump of cells.
Maybe he needs to be a parasite now, right? But anyway, we need to stay united behind Trump's conservative agenda, to the elements that are conservative. We have to back him because, again, what we're seeing is we are seeing the four horsemen of the liberal apocalypse: the media, the establishment rhinos, and the elected Democrats, and the unelected bureaucrat operatives embedded within the deep state. And they are all have the long knives out, and they are determined to make sure that the status quo remains the same, and that Trump does not get the appointments he wants and doesn't get to shake up the centers of power. That's why Betsy DeVos is a threat. That's why Pudster was a threat. That's why Flynn probably was a threat, because he knew what's going on in Iran, because of the bad Iran deal that Obama gave zillions of dollars over to Iran. Flynn knew this. And so what the Democrats are doing, with the help of some of the rhinos and, of course, the media sycophants, they are attempting, and they're going to continue doing this. And this is why Trump and Pence should have been united, and Republicans behind them, because now these Democrats have seen a chink in the wall, and they said, oh, this is easy. All we have to do is trot out some dirt, personal dirt about, Pudster's ex-wife, abuse, whatever, Nannygate. We just have to throw it out there, spin it around in the media laundry room a little bit, and bam, they voluntarily leave. They don't fight. They don't stand and fight for the country. They bow out because of the personal vicious attacks, because these people on the left, they will stop at nothing to destroy somebody's reputation and family. Like you said, Dan, they'll come after your children. That's what we're fighting against. It is take no quarter, ask no quarter, no quarter is given. That's what we're fighting in this apocalyptic time. I'm sorry, I'm stumbling over my words, but we're fighting the apocalypse. Really, truly are. Political apocalypse.
You know what though? The one thing that we still have going for us, no matter what you look at, is people like Sally Cohn, who literally posted something on social media that said, it went down a laundry list of basic...
I'm sorry, Dan, are you there? Can't hear you. I don't know. I'm sorry. I guess we've lost Dan. I hope he'll rejoin us next time. But now you've seen what we're seeing in media, in the halls of Congress and in the Senate. We are seeing the deep state operating. They do not want the time. They do not want Trump to have time. They don't want him to change the order of what has been happening. And so they are working together. They're even probably aligning somehow with rhinos across the hall, because all of this is designed to free America from the statists, from the deep state operatives that have been dragging us toward a centralized government control. This is why it's very, very important to support conservatives, why it's very important to support Trump insofar as he is conservative. I hope we're not going to hear. I think somebody had said that predicted that we're going to see now after we've seen General Flynn and Puzner leave, we may see Trump kind of veer hard left, trying to be a populist and trying to appease the Democrats and those people and try to kind of like the Rodney King of government. Can't we all just get along? I hope he doesn't do that.
He's too stubborn.
I hope
too
to God
stubborn.
he is. I hope your lips to God.
And you know how I feel about Trump. I've been very.
Hey, he turned out to be a great surprise so far. He's doing pretty good, okay?
He's doing pretty good.
85% right now, okay? He really is doing pretty well. And you know what? I tell you, the what was the alternative?
Well, the whole thing.
And I'm your president, Madam President Hillary Clinton.
They complain. They say the worst 30 days. Well, you know what? He doesn't even have a cabinet. How is he supposed to have a first 30 days with a quarter of his cabinet in place?
That's the point.
They
Dan.
won't let
That's
his cabinet in place.
Point. That's what that's the operation. They are going to delay and deny and delay and deny. They're going to pick off as many appointments as they possibly can and drag this out so that the first 100 days, what the Democrats would like to write is, in the first 100 days, Trump didn't even get his cabinet picked going. He's already lame. He's an illegitimate president in the first place. The Russians hacked the elections, and they're probably now sitting on his cabinet because they're probably Russian implants. That's what the Democrats want to say. They want to run out the clock. This is like the fourth quarter for them. They want to be able to say that in the first 100 days nothing got done. So they're doing everything they can to stop them.
They can't do that. You know why they can't do that?
Why not?
Because then they would have to say, well, we're the ones that put the Russian plants in there on his cabinet.
No, they won't. No, because they don't nominate them. Trump's the one who nominates and brings them and says, "Hi, consider this guy." So that they will continue. Look, they're DeVos is my favorite pick of his. Yes,
and she's on. I'm glad she's on. My absolute favorite pick. She goes to a school and they block her from getting in, and all the news shows is that they blocked her from getting in. They don't show that she actually went around the backside and got into the school. They just show that she got blocked.
And you know what? What's missing from that video? I saw it as well on Facebook. Where are the police? What she should have done immediately. And the next time she goes, she should go with armed police officers, guns drawn. Well, not guns. I'm sorry. I'm getting a little ahead of myself.
Not guns drawn.
I know. I just said that. Not guns drawn. I said with handcuffs drawn, and they march up to the long-haired, dope-smoking idiots who are standing there.
Truly wearing.
The union representatives, and the police say, make way or you will be arrested. They need to start arresting every one of these people who are blocking legal access to our schools. We pay taxes for these schools. These are not private organizations. Our Secretary of Education should be able to walk into any school with reasonable notice. I mean, drop in kind of a, flyby thing. That I'm not talking about that. But where are the handcuffs? Where are the police in handcuffs? So next, Betsy DeVos should be on notice. She gets people in the police departments in the city she's going to visit, and they come with her in squad cars and a paddy wagon so that they can load up these people and put them in the paddy wagon and don't give them bail. Just say, I'm sorry, civil disobedience. Yeah, call your union rep. They'll come bail you out. Or call George Soros, who is ever
That's
paid.
right. If you want to stand on the side of the road with your little picket signs,
that's fine. That's
fine.
You can't
if you want to block Secretary of Education from going to a school, fine. You're going to jail.
Look,
the end.
Let's put it on the other side. If these people were blocking access to an abortion factory, they would have been arrested, okay? If they had been protesting with rosaries and crosses outside and blocking a sidewalk anywhere near an abortion factory, they would have been scooped up and arrested, okay? And yet we have a duly appointed, nominated Secretary of Defense, approved by Congress, and she cannot get into a school. These people ought to be scooped up and arrested and charged with whatever we can charge them with for blocking the legal egress and ingress to this place. That's what should happen. We are a nation of laws, and laws apply to everyone or they apply to no one. We can't keep picking and choosing. And that is Obama's legacy, by the way, is how the law was selectively enforced. It was a lawless administration, selective enforcement of the law. That's what we're facing. And the only way that we counter it is through firm, even-handed, very fair application of the law. The people, normal people, can see that we all have laws we have to obey, and then we can start actually looking at the laws and say, well, hey, this is kind of a stupid law. Do you think we should have it? Yeah, maybe we shouldn't. Let's have debate. Going back to Senator Rubio at the very point, we can have civil debate. We can say, this law isn't working the way that we thought it would because it's being enforced. And it's not working, let's change the law. If we don't have enforcement of law, or if we have selective enforcement or selective interpretation by the judiciary, then we, the people, can't understand how the law is written and how it should be applied. And then it's all about volcanism, which is, well, it wasn't fair because you got treated differently under the law. And now there are classes of people, the privileged who are, who can get away with everything, and the ones who get caught, for just a traffic ticket they get hauled off for. That's illegitimate use of our laws. And the one thing that is the most important for our country and for our Constitution is to enforce the laws on the books. Anyway, I'm Susan Swift. You can find me at Real Susan Swift on social media. You can also find me on my website, susanswift.net, and I write for politichicks.com. Dan, why don't you give your where you're located at, because I know we need to wrap it up.
You can find me at Right1Dan on Twitter at 7 o'clock tomorrow morning when Twitter unlocks my account.
Hey.
And you can find me Friday nights right here on KLRN Radio with Rick Robinson on Robinson and Wright. And we will shoot holes in all the stuff we talked about tonight.
And guess what? There's going to be, next week is going to be a bonus play, probably, because I just wanted to let you know, I'm going to CPAC. That's the Conservative Political Action Committee. It's the big convention. It's in D.C. I'm going to be there next Wednesday, so I probably won't be here talking to you live. So there's probably going to be a bonus play or something else. We'll work it out, but I'll give you the whole wrap-up. And so in 2 weeks, I'll be back and I'll tell you what I'm going to be talking about at CPAC, because I have something kind of fun planned that's coming out really soon.
If work hadn't been the way it is, I was supposed to go, and it would have been you and me there doing the show. But
oh wow! Well, I hadn't heard that.
I'm going to send you. I'm going to send you my boss's. I'm going to send you my boss's email address so you can email him and.
All right. Well, I think that just about wraps it up here. Thanks for hanging with us. This is Susan Swift. You've been listening to Constitution and Culture. We'll see you. I'll see you in 2 weeks.